Hello, everybody. My name is Brianna Sexton, and I'm a biology major here at UTEP. My presentation is the relationship between money and happiness regarding generosity and financial stability. The reason why I decided to focus on this subject is because I've noticed that through my experience, people are happier when they have money, when they do not have to worry about spending money. When they do have money, people prefer to use it on providing for themselves, their family, and helping others. Lack of money tends to lead to stress, depression, and feelings of uselessness. That's what I've noticed through my own experience. For my background research, I studied 5 scholarly resources. For the first one, through completing a series of studies in 2008, Dunn and her team found that how people spend their money may be at least as important as how much they earn. Next, there was found to be a link in the brain's mechanisms that generous behaviors increase happiness. This study was able to monitor the brain's activity when making decisions for oneself versus making generous choices. This study was conducted by Park and his team in 2017. In 2014, Birnbaum and Friedman compared the happiness of different countries. They found that a nation's happiness is correlated to health, wealth, and education. Meeting the essential needs of people for food, clothing, shelter, education, and health is very important for happiness. 6 factors that explain most of the variation in happiness among nations include divorce rate, employment rate, unemployment rate, level of trust, membership in non-religious organizations, quality of government, and belief in God. In 2008, Iredell and his team observed that males use generosity for mating. They're conducting a behavioral experiment. Thus, my hypothesis for this experiment was that the more money people have, the happier they are as long as they can use the money to provide for themselves and their family and do good things for people. My independent variable was money, my dependent variable was happiness. This is a positive relationship because if the independent variable of money increases, the dependent variable of happiness also increases. I conducted a survey regarding the relationship between money and happiness. My participants were 4 classmates of Meta's research course. 100% of respondents strongly agreed to feeling fulfilled when they spend money on other people. 100% of respondents strongly believe that being financially secure and stable is important. My survey included a few open-ended questions. When asked what they would do with $1 million, 75% said that they would put it towards somebody other than themselves. I interviewed a coworker who was raised by a single mother who worked hard to provide her with the things that she needed. She said that even though she does not need to work because her husband makes enough, she works for financial stability and to provide nice things for herself and her family. Of course, all research studies have limitations. The biggest limitation to my research is that we did not have time to get IRB approval and actually complete an experiment. For future research, the student should complete a field study. One possible way to do this is offer a $10 shopping incentive to students who participate in the experiment. As part of the experiment, allow the participants to buy items from Walmart online and analyze what they bought. Conduct the experiment at the evening session of senior workshop. This time is accommodating to many working students. Do it at this event because older students are more likely to have children and a family, and because the students have made it this far in college and are almost ready to graduate, so they should have an idea of how to spend their finances responsibly. As part of the electronic registration, include a brief survey that will be given out before the students come to the workshop. Ask for email address to contact them if they meet the criteria for participation and if they are interested in participating. The brief survey will be submitted when they submit the rest of the registration. There are 150 people coming to the senior workshop. Of those, 100 met the criteria. Put the email address of the 100 surveys which met the criteria into a random generator and select 50 random surveys. These 50 surveys will be the people in the experiment. All met the criteria. Then, take the 50 random people and again, with a random generator, separate the 50 random people into 2 new groups. Select one survey from the 50 surveys and put the survey into one Excel column on the computer. Then select another survey randomly and put it into a second Excel column on the computer until we have 2 columns of email addresses with 25 randomly selected surveys inside each one. Then randomly select one column to be control group and other column to be the experimental group. Then, contact these 50 people via email with instructions on the experiment. First, ask if they want to be part of the experiment and tell them just a bit about the experiment. Ask them to show up to the workshop event or UTEP. The control group will go into one room for the workshop, and the experimental room will go into another room for the workshop. Let them know about the $10 shopping incentive if they come to the senior workshop. Give the participants each $10 and a UTEP tablet. Allow them to go online shopping on a tablet assigned only to them, letting them know that they must take their purchases within an hour. The control group is only allowed to shop online from the toys and children's clothing section of Walmart website. They are allowed to only buy children items. The experimental group is given full access to Walmart website, which sells all different kinds of items, including children's items. The types of items that participant bought will be analyzed and considered if they are items only for the individual or items for themselves and their family. Assume that most of the experimental group is given a bigger selection will still choose to buy items for their children and family because they enjoy spending money on their family. After the senior workshop, participants will be informed that their purchases, along with their survey responses, were part of the research experiment regarding money and the role that it plays in the family. If participants in the experimental group bought things for their children with the money they were given, it supports the hypothesis that people enjoy spending money on their families. One limitation to this experiment is that people may not buy the things that they truly would want to if they were not participating in the experiment. This is the Hawthorne effect. Thank you for listening to my experiment. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to my experiment. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.